Howdy ho! Do you have some time to talk about death metal? Even when it gets a little bit progressive, even though it's a little bit flirting with the tech side. Not exactly super dirty, not exactly cavernous, not even too old school, but kind of a combination of them all. If you said yes to most of these questions, let's talk about Tomb Mold from Canada with their fourth album, which came here late 2023 for a review, and now the review is here. The Enduring Spirit. Quite of a cosmic take on the cover. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to tell me. I get a strong blood incantation vibe here, but also lots of fantasy and sci-fi literature or video games, movies, what have you. This, of course, is expanded on the other side of things. So the big picture looks like this. If you ask me, sign me interested. This is interesting cover and cool cover art. Standing apart from your classic gory stuff by a lot of death metal bands, steering away from Xerox copied black metal arts and what have you. No skulls, but some bizarre creatures and environment that is not supposed to be your everyday thing anyway. Okay, Tomb Mold has gotten quite a bit of underground hype. It's not exactly mainstream artist, but not the small artist either. And they have been out here for quite a few years now. Not exactly too long to call them old band, but enough years to really have them as, one of the newer death metal bands that is operating steadily, doing solid stuff and all. Now, 4 albums in within about 8 years or so. This is something that is more like I feel a transition phase kind of an album. I'm saying here, some people love Tomb Mold because it's more like old school stuff. Some people like it, it's not your everyday stuff. But then again, I feel like this kind of a subgenre is not exactly too rare these days either. It's kind of a flirting with their retro-ish sound, like not overly produced, super heavy and all that stuff, but not exactly sounding like, yeah, this is a demo in your friend's new boyfriend's, garage or whatever. But it's actually like, yeah, let's stay organic, but still let's try to make it so that it sounds powerful enough, or at least enough to make a point. So, 4th album, let's take a look at the track list here. So, 42, almost 43 minutes in total, 7 tracks, and some of them are on the lengthier side of thing, especially when we're talking about death metal. Now, where this gets interesting, and a lot of people are gonna love it, a lot of people are gonna dislike it for the reasons. This is combining different elements of different parts of death metal field or scene or whatever you want to put it. That is, sometimes this band is like pure rock death. It's like taking those progressive death metal riffs or even just progressive metal riffs, putting them into play and adding weird killer solos and all that stuff, and people are like, yes, I come from a music college as well. I like what these guys are doing. And some people are going to say, yeah, it's boring. It's not heavy. It's not brutal. It's not killing anybody. It's just like... Then again, it's not really a tech death thing. I mean, when you would compare these to bands like Archspire or Origin or other of that sort, technical, brutal, whatnot, and you're going to say, this feels like quite lame. I mean, not lame like bad, but more like tame. More like, yeah, these guys are, say, more on the prog metal side, hard rock level of heaviness versus brutal death metal. Now, if you're getting these compared to the old school sound, you would say, yeah, it's too complicated. This ain't no death. This ain't no massacre. This ain't no possessed. This ain't no fucking Morbid Angel, D-side, Cannibal Corpse, what have you. So this is kind of a modern take, which then again blends in these progressive elements, but also has this kind of an old school feeling, partially because of the production. And then you have these rather monotone, growly vocals, which you either love because they are not too diverse, or you're gonna dislike them because, wait, they are quite too monotone. Now, that makes this album kind of interesting, but also complex. Complex because it's going too many different directions for some people, and for some people that's the reason why they indeed love it. I'm on the verge. I kind of like that this band is, trading new waters, but also I am like, please, could you stay a little bit more focused? Leave those proggy elements away. I mean, start focusing on the old school stuff. So maybe this is transition phase. Maybe this is like the band is now done with the whatever they the past. Like some people said, yeah, it's like Autopsy worship band. Now, this album don't really sound like Autopsy worship band. Where Autopsy is still kind of like boneheaded, keeping it to the very true to the origins of that kind of a rather primitive old school death metal. This is way too progressive for that. Certain parts certainly might seem like, yeah, they're still doing the old school sound and all, but once again, this ain't no really boneheaded stuff, but moving on. Maybe this is something like, yes, if you're a Blood Incantation fan, you will find this kind of stuff also interesting. But I don't know, this is hard cookie to crack, hard cookie to recommend to a lot of people because it's indeed quite diverse and has lots of different things going on, which is probably the reason why there's so many reviews for such a new album on Metal Archives as well. People are probably arguing like what to like and what not to like. But at least these guys ain't no like everybody else in the scene. Some bands are playing it safe, playing it true to the certain set of rules or expectations in whatever scene or genre we're talking about. And these guys are like, okay, let's challenge that. Let's just do something different. It's interesting, but not for everybody. So kind of acquired taste really is really. But give it a go if you feel like you're up for the task. You will find links provided in the description box. So off you go, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care and see you soon with more reviews coming your way.